everybody, it's Mike over here at Growtopia, and it's for the month of February. We have a lot of other plants we want to plant, not just the plants we want to eat. The plants we want to grow as well are the plants that are perennials, that come back every year, that also bring the bees and all the pollinators into our gardens. And I chose 3 different plants. Now, one plant, I actually have 2 different versions of it growing in my front yard, which I love, is known as a hibiscus. Now, hibiscuses, the ones I grow, are more a little tropical. Now, they come back every year, and every year they come back, they get bigger and bigger, just like mums. So, what I like to do is around like November, basically once the stems go from being soft like a tomato plant, they go really hard like bamboo, is when I cut them. And then what I do is I either use it for firewood at that point, or I use it for steaks. Just not steaks to eat, like steaks for my plants. So hibiscus is what I've come up with a word, multiple ones. They're great. They have a beautiful flower. They usually pop sometime around July. Then they go away a little bit after, and I think they come back like in September, or like late August and September, the ones that I have. But I'm going to be trying to grow a different kind, so that's going to be really interesting. We also have on tap is snapdragons and foxglove, which are 2 of my favorite flowering plants. It has a nice stem with a bunch of flowers on it. It attracts a lot of bees, which is great because you need the pollinators to come to your garden. Now, I didn't have any problem with my pollinators last year, but this year I want to step it up and give it a little bit more color. Now, I'm going to be putting them in random places, but what I'm going to be doing different than I normally do, instead of doing pods, we're going to just do one of the planters. The reason why I want to do a planter, it's almost like when you're growing grass, like sod, for an example. Grow the seed, and then you slice the bottom of it, you pull it out, and you put it somewhere. That's my plan for the foxglove, the snapdragons, and the hibiscus. And wherever they're going to go is going to be their home from now on. So basically for these next 3 plants that I'm going to be showing you guys, they're going to go into a planter. Once they get growing and it's time to plant them, that's where they're going to be, and that's where they're going to stay, and that's going to be their little section. So let's get to the planting of this video. Now, of course, we logged it all into the Bible already. I already got the tags, already got the planters full of soil. All I'm just doing is dropping seed and just talking to you people. Or myself, because this is an archive for myself as well. So now that we're done with the book, just want to double check something really quick. So we're putting them on shelf 11, which is the shelf that you guys are kind of sort of sitting on. So the shelf you're sitting on is 11 and 10. So 11 and 10 is a shelf that does go back to that side of the room when the tropicals go back outside. So these guys are going into the dark zone. They need light to germinate. Let's see. What's it say on it? Press into the soil firmly. They need light to germinate. Transplant after frost. Keep soil consistently moist, not soggy. So, it's pretty simple. Pretty easy enough, right? Okay, so let's get to planting. The first one we're going to start off with is foxglove. We're going to grab the planter and plant it. Actually, no, we're not going to start with foxglove. We're going to start with the hibiscus. So we got our planter with soil in it, like such. And I call it the hibiscus mix because I got seeds from 2 different companies that I'm just going to get rid of. Let's see if they germinate. And if they do, Well, I got a lot of hibiscuses. In case anybody wants one. We'll see what happens. They're great to have. They're a beautiful flower. But it's time to get rid of what doesn't really seem to germinate. Between a 100-pound tomato and, well, and then some. It's like one seed in such packet. Alright, so I'm just going to brush them back and forth. Like such. I want to get a stool. Alright, stool man. Stick that right down below. Okay. Alrighty. It's a good plastic bag. We'll keep that one for later. Alright, so for our next planter, we have our snapdragons. Show you guys what they look like. And they're looking at the same thing. You want to sprinkle them on top. I'm going to be trying to grow this like grass. So, full packet on here. And brush it around. I should have put it that way. Have to move the other one around. Hibiscus tag. Grab the snap. Oh, dragons. And for our last and final tray is our foxglove. Mix. There's just a lot of seeds in here, which would be great. I'm going to blanket this as well. And what I mean by the word blanket, we're looking at like that. I'm just going to brush them over. Now if this tray is full, that's great. We could take the plants that are growing out of it like sod, and we just cut it up to what we need and just stick it where we want it, and then just will spread, and then we'll constantly have these plants forever and ever and ever. And if I need to constantly plant more, we can plant more. We can always just do it the exact same way. Just add a little bit more soil, add more seeds, and away we go. Simple. Really easy. Just remember, planting is not the hardest thing in the world. The hardest thing in the world is waiting for your plants to grow. That's where the hard part comes really into. Also trying to figure out where you want to stick a big seed pack. Stick it there, and then I'll forget that I put it there. And this planter is going to get the thermometer. So the reason for these plants is honestly just to bring in more pollinators into your garden. And that's it. So, to bring in more pollinators, this is Mike over here at Growtopia. Quick tip for today. Bring in your pollinators. Grow some great, beautiful flowers. Plus, not only is it great for the pollinators, but also it's beautiful to look at. Anyway, this is Mike over here at Growtopia. Like, subscribe, share it with your friends and family, and start growing like I am. Let's take a little walk around. As soon as I drop these guys down below, put a thermometer in here, I'm going to show you guys what's growing on inside the nursery if you're new to the channel. Alright, so I'll put you guys down there. Thermometer. Alright, so inside the nursery, we got these yellow plum tomatoes that are, well, they're climbing for the skies. We got our cat grasses, our beautiful Italian basil that's hidden over there. We got our tropical banana with our tropical lemon and our tropical lime. We have an unknown mystery plant back there. Our new installments just went down below, which we're going to be setting the light for that very shortly. Over here we have a seed grown celery that was outside, that came inside. It has been doing very, very good. Tomatoes for next year. Down here we have our brassicas, which is our cabbages. We've got a Scotch bonnet in there as well. Amongst our cabbages, we have cauliflower, we have rhubarb, we have broccoli, Brussels sprouts, machete, bok choy. We have a Swiss chard, which we're going to be growing more of those very shortly. Over here we got our peppers that are slowly staying alive. We have our basils over here. Our next tray over, we got our peppermint, our sage, our celery, our parsley, our rosemary, and our oregano in the back. We have our impatiens, which are obviously impatient to get growing and getting outside. Behind those we got marigolds, lavender, summer savory, and rincia purple, and we have a little more rincia. We got some yellow. And over here we have our pumpkins, which are one of our newer installments, which are been growing as you guys saw in the last video. And also I have an onion over here that is just growing on its own. Without any water or anything, so I've been watching my onion, and I've been saving my potatoes, so I've been letting my potatoes go to spud, or not spud, but to go to eyes, right? So I take my potatoes and I let them eye themselves out, so which is basically letting them to do this. And then when I need them for food, I cut them and I cut the eyes out, and I cut the eyes and I stick the eyes in here and let them dry out, and then I can stick them outside and grow more potatoes and just constantly keep the growing of potatoes without buying potatoes. I've actually never bought potato spud seeds. So what basically the best way to get your potatoes to spud, or I keep calling it spud, but get them to go eyeing out, because we got red potatoes, we got rustic potatoes, we got golden potatoes. The best way to basically let them do it is by putting them in a place that's cool. So this place in here, it stays like 65 to 70 degrees. It's in the corner, it's out of the sunlight. Because we open this window during the day to let a little bit of sun in for the tropicals that are down below. Other than that, it stays about 65, 70 degrees in here, depending on the way the day is going, depending on the outside temperature. So I stick them in the far corner away from the sunlight. Thank God it stays shaded over there. It stays nice and cool. It stays dry. The humidity is extremely, very, very low in here. And they do that. And then I keep an eye on them. And if I want to make like home fries, or I want to make like hash browns, or I want to make tater tots, you know. Good old Napoleon Dynamite tater tot, you know. Fucking idiot. Sorry. I get weird sometimes. I'm a millennial. Blame it on my heritage. So, anyway, it's Mike over here in Growtopia. Give you guys a little tour of what's growing on inside the nursery. And that's it. Like, subscribe, share it with your friends and family. And if you have any questions, comment down below. Any concerns, say it. I love to learn more information, like the weird water spot that's above my head. Alright. There's probably like some weird trap door up there with like trillions of dollars that I just didn't know about. Which I just noticed now in video. That is really, really weird. What the fuck is that? I don't know. Anyway, everybody, later.